I've gone through all the parts of E-drill and all the accessories. Let's get ready to just cut out a fastener. The first thing we need to do is plug the gun in. To do so, remember the blue goes on the right-hand side, black on the left. There's a master key in this, so it can really only go on one way. Find that detent, thread the cannon plug in until it hits the next one. Once it clicks, you are locked in. Then we're gonna take our black tube, hook it up to the pressure side, take our blue tube, hook it up to the vacuum side. Give it a nice gentle tug to make sure that both of those are locked and installed, and we're hooked up and ready to go. So on the inside of your toolbox is a 5-step guide to successful fastener removal. It's gonna lay out all 5 steps from selecting the proper electrode to installing it to cutting and confirming, punching out, and making sure the process is done in accordance with our manuals. So first things first, right? I've got a HI-LOK V8 fastener here. That is a titanium 1/4-inch protruding head HI-LOK pin. I'm going to come to the touchscreen display here, select part number, hit the drop down, hit HI-LOK V8 and push save. That's going to load the profile into the hand tool to tell it how far to go. That's step 1 on the 5-step guide. So the home screen now tells me our current operation, again HI-LOK V8. It tells me my cut depth of 95 thousandths of an inch, and that's based off the drawing of the fastener. And it tells me my target time right around 7 seconds. The most important thing it tells me is my recommended electrode, a 0208-0. So I go to the box, I pull out my proper electrode. On the side I can verify it says 0208-0. I'm going to install it to the hand tool. Step 2, install electrode. To install the electrode, you're going to pull the trigger and extend the conducting tube, which you'll see in a second, all the way out until the hand tool stops itself. When we get there, we have a red light on the back, and on our touchscreen display it says cut aborted, forward limit found during seek. Now it tells you is that we are at the maximum limit of what the hand tool can extend. From there, we twist on our electrode, again based off what the touchscreen says. Then we're going to use our electrode wrench here and tighten that up. Now this is a pop-off torque. It's not going to over-tighten each time you click. You can click it as many times as you want. I just do that to verify we are in fact at the proper tightness. Step 3 is to install the tooling. Now, that's based off of whatever fastener you're cutting, right? So I'm cutting a protruding head fastener. I'm going to use my protruding head locator and my protruding head adapter and guide. Notice the guide is black. That's the color code that we talked about earlier. For a size 8 electrode, we get a black guide. To install this, you're going to put it down, push it in all the way till it's seated, and give it a 1/4 turn. Now we are locked in and ready to go. When removing the adapter, make sure you're pulling out while you turn. So if I pull out while I turn, it pops right off. Many times people will not pull out, they'll just turn all the way back. It's gonna get you locked back into place. We don't wanna do that, we wanna get the thing off. So we pull out while we turn, and it slides right off the piece. So with our proper tooling in place, we're going to hit the bottom button here, the retract button. That's going to bring that electrode back home, and it's going to get us ready for our cut. The ready for the cut is indicated by the green light on the back here, and on our home screen where it says ready. So we do one last final check. We make sure, hey, HI-LOK V8, we got the right electrode on, the right guide on, now we're ready to cut. Locating on a button head fastener. We take our protruding head locator, and it should fit nice and snug over the head of that fastener. There should be no movement, and that's going to guarantee a concentric, perfect cut every single time. Mechanically located on the outside diameter of that fastener head. Holding the hand tool, we're going to put this high up in the crook of our hand, aim with our pointer finger at what we're trying to remove, and we're going to squeeze with our middle finger on the trigger. When you squeeze the trigger, you're just going to push and hold until the cut is completed. This E-drill will stop itself, and then you release the trigger. You want to hold it down in that area for about 3 seconds. That's going to help evacuate any extra water that may be left behind. So again, two-handed operation. I'm going to hold down nice and firm on the protruding head locator. I'm going to install the hand tool. So you want to push past that spring pressure to open that water valve. I'm going to squeeze the trigger, and the cutting process is going to begin. Again, this is a series of shorts and sparks with high pressure water flooding through the area, quenching any heat migration and removing any fog you normally find. The cut is completed, given by the indication on the back of the hand tool with a green light. Again, I'm holding here for about 3 seconds to vacuum up any of that excess water. And we have a cut complete on our home screen display. Now this is totally cool to the touch. There's, again, no heat migration during the process, but what you're left with is a nice circular cut groove right on the head of that fastener, right to where the head and the shank meet, and it stops. Next step is to remove it. To remove the fastener, we're gonna use our single shot air punch. I've got a -8 nose piece here. I'm gonna thread him on, nice and snug, and then connect my air line. Now when using the single shot air punch, it's very, very important to make sure before you pull that trigger that you are in fact down inside the cut groove we just made. Apply a steady amount of pressure, squeeze the trigger one time, and the head fractures from the shank. So that is protruding head removal.